homebody. I like to stay in to watch movies, draw and play video games. I've even canceled dates 2 years in a row to play Resident Evil 8, which isn't crazy or quirky, I just think it's weird that it happened twice with the same game at the same time of year. But when you're in Japan for an entire semester, the dumbest thing you can do is stay inside all day. I wanted to make sure my 4 months were spent trying new things, so when my classmate asked me if I wanted to try clubbing, I said yes immediately. I mean, clubbing in Tokyo? People hype it up so much, surely nothing goes wrong. The first club we went to was called Warp in Shinjuku. The line was so long that it wrapped around the corner and doubled up. I was fully prepared to wait on this line for at least 30 minutes, but one of the bouncers stopped in front of us. Apparently, my friend Bella was there every other weekend, so we recognized her. And after chatting a bit, he escorted us to the front of the line. I literally felt like a VIP. When we got inside, we put our stuff into lockers and walked to the dance floor. Is this normal?
No.
We totally forgot it was the Friday of Golden Week. If you don't know what Golden Week is, it's a cluster of 4 Japanese holidays where everyone and their mothers are off work. So that night, we made the biggest rookie mistake possible. The music was blasting, and due to the sheer amount of bodies, it got sweaty really quick. I just got water at the bar because 1, I don't like to drink in public, and 2, their tea was like 800 yen. Yeah, you're funny. We were able to find a vomitless corner to dance in, and I just took everything in. This was a complete 180 from my usual environment, so I was kind of proud for putting myself out there. But then I was suddenly snapped out of my trance because some dude decided to grab my cup out of my hand. I turned and he was just holding it and smiling at me. I nodded and mouthed thank you because I thought, oh, he's so kind. He must have noticed that I finished my drink and he's gonna throw it out for me. Cause what else could it be? But then he hands it back to me. The empty cup, he just gave it back. I turned back to my friends and try not to think about it because I was like confused. But barely 2 minutes later, he grabs my cup again. This time, my friend Leah sees and she snatches it back and stands in between the two of us. That's when it clicked. No way. This guy was trying to flirt. Grabbing my cup was his way of getting my attention. Like, that's so dangerous. I'm going to get super serious with you right now. If there is anything you take away from this video, do not grab a girl's cup. That is not game. She's going to think you spiked it. I was super lucky to have finished my drink before this happened, because if that guy grabbed it sooner, I would have had a very different reaction. We decided to go to the bathroom to get away from him, so we linked arms and walked in a line, pushing through and eventually out of the crowd. This small moment made my heart swell with happiness. Like, my whole life, I was surrounded by the worst gamer dudes and unfortunately very male-centered women. So I went through a whole reevaluation of my friendships and figured that I'd rather have 2 very good friends than a bunch of lukewarm ones. And the simple act of walking to the bathroom together and making sure we weren't separated made me realize this was the girlhood I'd been yearning for my whole life. Inside the bathroom, all the girls I met were so kind. Everyone was complimenting each other, just like all the rumors mentioned. It was kind of weird to finally experience it, but by the time we left, I was refreshed. We make our way towards the stage to see some dancers cover Toxic by Britney Spears. It was a good time, and the worst of it was over, right? Wrong! Just as the dancers were leaving the stage, I'm abruptly reminded of my surroundings. A random man decided to lift up my hair. Like, they just grabbed some of it and then let it fall down. It didn't hurt, but why though? I whipped my head around, but I couldn't tell who it was. It definitely wasn't the dude directly behind me because he didn't look guilty, and he wasn't tall enough to lift my hair that high. But I couldn't make out any of the faces further back because the club lighting was dark blue. I turned back around and I tried to forget about it, but of course, he does it again. This time, I reacted fast enough to shoo the arm away. But that wasn't enough. I was getting increasingly frustrated. Freak, watch out, hair next time. And then, it happened. He lifts my hair, but before he can fully pull away, I grab his forearm and dig my nails in as hard as I can, maintaining my grip for a solid 3 seconds before letting go. I'd never gotten physical with someone like that in my life, and while I felt slightly proud of myself for being able to grab him, I do not ever want to have to resort to something like that again. Genuinely though, what was he expecting? Thank you for grabbing my hair, let's make out now. No, that only works for a select panel of people. Towards the end of the night, we moved to the bar area to grab refreshments. And as I'm chatting on the line, Bella snuck off. She came back quickly, but this time there was a random salaryman with her, as if she just picked up a stray dog off the street. Without telling anyone her plan, she started auctioning us off.
Pick one, anyone. We'll let you talk to your favorite girl if you buy us all drinks.
Leah was fine with it because she wanted to practice her Japanese, and I thought the whole situation was funny. Considering everyone was unfazed by her antics, I got the vibe that Leah did this often. And when we got to the front of the line, I ended my first night clubbing with 800 yen tea. A few weeks later, I had just gotten back to my dorm after a great day. A peaceful daily life.
What are you doing tonight?
Nothing, I just got back to my dorm.
Come to Shibuya now!
Yeah, okay. Within 15 minutes, I was back at the train station. The second club was called Adam. The line was much shorter this time, and while waiting, Bella and I were talking about our school project. In my peripheral vision, I see this guy just smiling and staring at me, and that's what he did for the whole 15 minutes. He did not look away once. I get it. You can probably speak English and understand my conversation, but I don't understand the point of like just staring at someone that you want to talk to and then you don't talk to them, because it's just creepier that way. I learned a lot this night. I finally realized why people liked clubbing. When I got to a floor that was playing recent K-pop comebacks, I thought, wait, I can do this all night. The music is why people like clubbing. We ran into some girls that were also from New York and we hit it off. Actually, our groups hit it off so well that Bella and one of the girls started making out. And then the other sister started making out with a random dude. And then, as I was watching them in awe, I noticed that another guy was watching them. Big mistake, because that split second of eye contact made him lock in and start walking directly towards me. Huh? Is he? Me? But Mari noticed immediately and stepped in front of me saying,
Oh, not her, not her, not her!
And I was saved. Thank you, Mari. In the short amount of time I'd known you, you already knew I wouldn't be down to make out with a stranger. After Bella finished her makeout session, she said she needed a smoke break. Adam has a smoke room inside the building, so we didn't have to go outdoors. For the same weird reason I like sniffing Sharpies, I like the smell of cigarettes. But I never smoke one myself, you know? Bella started making small talk with one of the guys there, like,
What's up? Can I get a light? What are you up to tonight?
and this man with the straightest face ever says, I want to have Okay then. I guess this was just the demographic for clubbing. And then I learned another lesson. People meant it when they said smoke burns your eyes. Because after being there for maybe 10 minutes, I had tears welling up. I didn't want to leave Bella alone with this creep, so I stood there silently suffering. The next time she wanted a smoke break though, I stood outside. 4 a.m. hit and everyone was ushered out of the building. It was time for food. Bella and Mari chose the closest ramen shop that wasn't jam-packed, and a quick glance at the menu told me there weren't any options for me. I was in Japan for 2.5 months by this point, so I was used to it. I tell Mari, I'll be right back, and make my way to Natural Lawson. The sun was already up, the weather was perfect, and I was alone, much needed after socializing all night. I grabbed my usual, meat buns, a water bottle, and a small bag of cookies. Barely 15 minutes had passed before I was outside the store texting my friends, hey, what's the name of the ramen place you went to?
Oh, we thought you left.
I told you I'd be right back.
We're at the station already.
I was mildly annoyed, but tonight was so much more fun than the first time I went clubbing. I mean, no one grabbed at me this time. So I didn't want to sour the memory, and I chalked it up to them just being too drunk to remember. Also, how did they eat their entire ramen bowls that fast? I leaned on a nearby railing to look up directions to the nearest station. Literally only 1 minute. But within that 1 minute, 5 drunk out of their minds Japanese men trapped me between the railing. My fight or flight did not matter here because I couldn't fight off 5 grown men and there was literally nowhere to run. One of them sat down next to me and put his arm around my shoulder. I pretend I don't know any Japanese and I show him my phone to prove it. You are very beautiful. Oh my god. What else can I do here? Do you want a cookie? Oh, thank you. Okay, well, confusing him didn't work, so I just kept doing the only thing I could do, which was to speak so much English that they either couldn't keep up or got bored of me. Okay, I gotta go. I started speed walking towards the main road. I had no idea if this would lead me to the nearest station, but I just needed to be around more people. The guy called out to me one last time. What? You're so cute. I'm going home. I hopped on the first train back home and took a much needed shower. It was only after my personal Shibuya incident that I realized just how unreliable Bella was. And that was the reason Leah didn't show up the second night. Also, throughout both nights, she kept trying to peer pressure me into drinking. Not just 2 to 3 times, I mean like 20 times each. It got to the point that Mari had to cover my mouth because Bella started pushing the cups toward my face. It's safe to say that I do not speak to these girls anymore and my clubbing days are over. But if you ever decide you still want to go clubbing, just remember one thing. Don't grab people's cups.